Hi, Scott Orlin with
Yeah.
CINEMA-Magazine. Those of you that are fans of his dark materials, I'm here with an actor that you might not recognize, but stay tuned. His part is coming your way in season two, Andrew Scott. How is it to be a man of mystery in a TV series? A lot of people don't really know your character of John Perry at all.
No. Well, I think that's the great pleasure of it, really. With a lot of drama, you don't know who the characters are, but I suppose we're coming with this. It's a very famous book for children and adults alike. So yeah, it's fun to sort of have an introduction to the character in a tiny way in the first series. So it's my job now to come in and mess it all up.
Don't say that. We're starting to get, as the season unfolds, a little more information about you, your parents, the letters, your son, and so on. Give us a little tease about your character and how he is so central to the storyline.
Well, he has moved away from his son and his wife a long time ago, and he has been the doors have been shut out from his old world, and his great challenge is to try and get back to his family, which he isn't able to do for any number of reasons. So he has had to develop a new challenge, which is to try and make the world a better place for his son, even though his son doesn't know. So there's a kind of a duality, and we see the two adventures of father and son in different worlds and sometimes in the same world. So it's a very moving idea that love can exist even if somebody is literally worlds apart from their family.
What's really fascinating as I'm watching this and unfolds, it's so topical to today about the conflict between religion and science and how
Mm,
people are unsure how to navigate through it. Is part of
mm.
is part of art the ability to discuss things like this?
Absolutely, and not just for adults. I think it's very important to realize that our morality and our soul and our spirituality begins when we're born, not when we turn 18. So I love the idea that Philip Pullman in the original books is able to um, tell that truth in a very imaginative way, so that those ideas, uh, when children do break into adulthood, they're not being met with them for the first time, and that those children any favors by saying that everything is sweetness and light. There is darkness in the world, and obviously we don't want to frighten the children, but I think it's important to know that we do contain multitudes, and there are insidious things in the world that aren't immediately apparent.
So let's have fun just for a second. If you had to have a demon, if you had to have this animal spirit, what would yours be?
Oh, I don't know. It's obviously a question that you're asked a lot. What I love about the demons is that they can be any number of things. We contain multitudes within us. So I'd want a whole zoo.
There you go. What's really
Maybe
fascinating
maybe that's a
about you as an
sorry.
actor is people don't realize that you've been doing this for half your life, basically, for 20 something years. I think with Sherlock and, obviously with Fleabag, you've come to more of a worldwide attention. But when you first started, I think one of the first directors you ever worked under was Steven Spielberg. I think you had a small part in Saving Private Ryan. What foundation did that give you? What confidence did that give you?
I would say it's the working in the theater actually more than anything. Uh, it's storytelling like children. Again, talking about his dark materials. It's like what we do when we're kids is we play a lot, and the theater is the most um, potent sort of playground that you can be in, because you're in charge of the story from start to finish. It's the actor working in the theater to go and work with somebody like Steven Spielberg in a very small way. I'm not. Um, uh, so yeah, you just have to keep your imagination as ignited as possible for as long as possible, and not So I think what Steven Spielberg does so brilliantly is that he's very aware of his own uh, uh, his own kind of inner child, and that's what his audience really appreciate, because kids are so enamored by storytelling, and the further we go into adulthood, the more we move away from that. And so actually our profession is all about appealing to that inner child, both as a performer and as an audience member.
Well, thank you for continuing to tell stories. I think Ripley is going to be coming up next year, I think. So that'll be an exciting prospect.
Yes, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
This is
thank
Scott
you
Orlin.
so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Scott. We've wrapped. We can move